Are you not feeling confident with eyeshadows? It's alright, we can start with the basics. Today I will show you the most easy, beginner-friendly way how to apply just one color of eyeshadows and still look good with it. And in the end, I also prepared a bonus for you, so stick around! Hello, I'm Vesta and I'm a student in a beauty school. I'm working towards my professional makeup artist certification. Here I share my new knowledge and the mistakes I make along the way. I have already done my foundation, bronzer and lips, as it's not the purpose of today's video. Now let's talk about what items we will need for today's application. For today's application, we'll be using a primer. I'm using Makeup Forever one. A fluffy natural bristle brush for eyeshadows. Also, we will use the eyeshadows themselves. In my case, I have a big palette with different colors and I will be using this color. It's closer to my skin type. We will also need a mascara. You can use either brown or black, your preference. And also I might use a beauty blender or just a sponge. Here I have a chart of almost all possible skin tones. Just find yours and for the eyeshadow, choose one to the right. If your complexion is very dark and there's nowhere to go to the right anymore, just pick your own color and mix in just a little tiny bit of black. Now, let's get to the actual work. We will start with a concealer or primer, whichever you have at hand. If you're using a primer, just make sure that it's suitable for using on your eyelids. I will take a tiny bit. This amount is enough. We want to apply it with a very, very, very thin layer so it doesn't crease over during the day. And actually, if you feel it's a little bit too much, you can take a sponge and slightly tap it. Take your eyeshadows. As you can see, my complexion is very light. I will be using this shade. I won't be using any of those, even they would match me maybe even better. I don't know if you can see properly, but those two, they have shimmers, and for this type of makeup it's better to use matte and not shimmer eyeshadows. We take a clean brush, we tap it into our eyeshadow. We don't do too much, you don't need too much. And you take that, remove what's too much. Anyway, if you don't do it, it will just fall on your cheeks. Now you look carefully into the mirror. You don't close your eye. You want, here you have your natural shade that is created by light that falls on your face. So this is where you want to apply this eyeshadow. So start with the edge here and just carefully go in that shape. You don't change the shape. When you do it, you can feel your bone here and you just drag it in the lower edge of the bone. That's it. You can actually remove what's left. And now you start blending it. How you actually have to blend. You take your brush and you don't go all the way like this. You don't go all the way like this. Basically, you just touch the area of the skin that already has the shadow and go to the edge of it. You don't go too far on the edge, otherwise you won't even notice how it goes this huge. So look, just carefully sliding along. That's it. Just carefully. If you feel like it's getting too much, you can actually even remove any residual shadow and you continue those motions. You can go fast, but you don't have to. Just start slowly, like this. When you see that there are no lines, I here still have a little bit of the line. You can see that this part of my eye doesn't have any eyeshadow and this part does. We don't want that. We want it to be seamless. So we just blend. Blending is sometimes a very long process. Don't get discouraged. It really takes time. You can go in circular motion, but again, you stay in the borders that we discussed. See, you cannot really see any lines. The purpose of this makeup is to enhance your natural complexion and just to go a little bit deeper with the color to give a little bit more structure to your face. We go to the same shadow, remove what's not necessary, we close this eye, we go back to the same beginning where we started, and now we just do a little movement along the lash line. You don't need to go all the way to the inner corner of your eye. You stop somewhere here in the middle. You just did a slight line and try to make it as thin as possible. You don't want it to be on your whole eyelid. So we applied it, and now we carefully doing the same movement. We tap into the eyeshadow again, check if everything is fine, and do the same thing on the other side. Again, starting with the outer edge of your eye and move along the crease or your bone. Once done, remove and start shading. And actually now you can see the difference. This side is unblended, this side is well blended. You might want to do that from time to time because natural bristle brushes, they not soak in, but they take in some product even when it's already on your eye, and they like a deposit. So you don't want to add more, you want to blend what's already there. Maybe even taking away some of it. Also, when you work and you look into the mirror, move your face around. So you always need to look from the angle that really shows you what you're doing. It's also very important to have good light. It's either you have a mirror with lights that are built in the mirror, or just go towards the window and try, like, if the window is here, be straight towards the mirror. You don't want to one side of your face to be lit and the other one to be in the dark. Again, starting with the same point, close the eye and just a tiny line along your eyelashes. Just let me quickly do a reality check test in the mirror, so I'm sure that everything is well blended. Actually, I might need to blend here a little bit more. Yes, now it's all even. And our last step for today makeup is mascara. I would suggest you starting with the lower lashes if you do them. If you don't, just skip this part. I will take a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. So when you are holding a mirror like this, you want to bend your head down so you touch your lower eyelids. Be careful not to touch the skin, just the lashes. Don't try to make lower lashes too thick because it will look very unnatural. Just a little bit. Do the same on the other side. And actually, if you feel that it's a little bit too thick, so here you can actually take your fingers and remove the excess. Once they are dry enough, you want to go to the upper eyelashes. And for this tutorial, this makeup, I suggest you choosing one of the two strategies. You either do the edges or the roots, because this is a very light makeup. You don't want your eyelashes to be like this, right? So it's either the roots or the edges. I will do the edges and with my mirror again. So I don't go way to the bottom. I just basically touch here. I don't, and it's important not to start from the middle, because this way it will look like you just forgot about the roots. But if you do only the ends of your eyelashes, those are the parts of your eyelashes that are usually decolorized. It will look natural. So just and that's it. As you can see, my makeup is maybe a little bit bright due to my lips, but if we remove them, see, it looks very natural, even though those eyeshadows are a bit too warm for my face. I didn't have anything else at hand, but I guess you got the principle. Now let's move to the bonus that I promised you. I will take my other eyeshadow palette and I will apply the same technique, but with a bright color. This time I will take this bright pink. Remember how we did it? A little bit, and we'll be applying it first in the corner of the eye, and then along the crease. When you do more colorful eyeshadows, be prepared to blend much longer. A little bit, and along the eyelashes. make sure these two lines connect right here. I want to remove everything that the brush soaked in it, so I can get rid entirely of the harsh line. Now we'll do the same on the other eye. You can always choose brushes of different sizes. If that type of brush is way too thick and big for you, you can take a smaller. Sometimes they come very, very, very tiny. Still have a little bit too much here. Here it is. I hope you managed to repeat after me and your makeup was successful. If not, don't get discouraged. Just remove it, try another time. Your hand needs to get used to holding the brush and to work with it properly. If you want to learn about more techniques with just one eyeshadow, put a comment below so I know that it's something that interests you. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing.